Hello, surprise y'all. I decided to go on live. I'm sorry, I can't schedule this shit. I just go on whenever I feel like it. So I apologize in advance for not being prepared to let you know when I'm going to come on, but I'm here now. It's a little bit before noon on, what day is it? Tuesday. Tuesday. And tomorrow is the full moon. It's also spring equinox. There's a lot of wonderful things going on astrologically. So full moon first, let me just talk about full moon in Libra, 0 degrees Libra. So it's just going right into Libra. It's also heralding in spring equinox. It's the first time that we've had a full moon on a spring equinox in 19 years. So how special is that, right? Spring equinox is that kind of midway point between winter solstice and summer solstice. So, for us in the Northern Hemisphere, again, like we're starting to thaw out, and it literally is a time of rebirth and renewal. So no wonder all of these, pagan rituals around Easter and all this celebration of the new year. I think there's a holy festival that's around the spring equinox. It's all ushering in, again, the light and fertility and birth. And so what a wonderful time to think about, we already celebrated our new year. We celebrated our lunar new year. But as my friend Natalie reminded me in her live, it's actually also the astrological new year, because now when we go into spring equinox, we're also changing over from Pisces into Aries. So Pisces is the 12th zodiac sign, and, spiritual awakening and all that stuff. And now we're going into Aries, which is all about the self. So literally rebirth, thinking of a baby and how it only knows itself as related to, its mother, but it's all about the self, starting again from the zodiac. So all of this happening tomorrow on Wednesday, full moon in Libra, sun going into Aries, spring equinox, all these wonderful things that we get to start anew again. So let's talk about the full moon and what it really, really means in Libra. So in general, in the 8 phases of moon, if you count 8, some people count 16. I consider 8. The full moon is about releasing, right? The full moon is essentially an opposition of the moon on one side and the sun on the other side, and us and the earth are right in the middle. So when the moon is full, it's reflecting 100% all of that light from the sun back onto earth. So it's really beautiful, the idea of the sunlight reflecting off of the moon to us. So this nice opposition generally is a lot of energy, that if you can use the energy of the opposition of that aspect, we can really learn how to harvest everything that we have set our intentions. So if you had set an intention in the Libra new moon 6 months ago, this will be perfect time to be harvesting the fruits of your rewards. And now oftentimes we talk about the full moon as being this time of release. And we talk about the full moon as being a time of release because when you're harvesting, sometimes you don't really have a lot of control. So you have to just let it go, release, forgive, whatever has been holding you back that you have no control of over your ideal intentions. What can you let go of? What can you release? What can you forgive? So the Libra full moon, Libra is all about relationships and partnerships, committed partnerships, whether that is your husband, your romantic partner that you're connected with, or if you have business partners as you run your business, or if you have just like really, really close committed people in your lives, looking at those relationships and seeing what is working and what is not working for you in your life, to how you can bring balance, right? So I'm reading my favorite moon book. This is a book by Yasmin Bolin. It's called Moonology. She's probably one of the first astrologers that I ever found that really got me into moon phases and the new moon, and I've always been a new moon person, but really getting into all of the phases now. And she talks about the full moon in Libra, the questions that we need to be asking ourselves, and I'm just reading from her book here. the questions that we need to be asking ourselves are, have I been too concerned with appearance in general? Like Libra is very focused on their outward appearance. Of course, Libra ruled by Venus. Have I been thinking too much about others and neglecting my own needs, right? I'm sure for a lot of us women, we're always prioritizing others over our own. So where have you been doing this in your life? Have I been too easily influenced, gullible, or unable to decide for myself? Again, that's a very Libra thing, right? Flip-flopping. You know, you have the scales and you can make judgments for other people, but it's really hard to make judgments for yourself. So where have you been indecisive, you know, in your life? And because I talk about business, where have you been indecisive in your business? And have you been living your life through somebody else? You know, have you been taking a back seat to your partner's life, so that they can go forward with their career, whereas you're not doing, your career is on the back burner? So have you been putting your life on back burner in the sake of somebody else? Or have you also spent enough time beautifying your life? So, you know, this is really important if you work from home. How is your home office? If you could see behind me, mine is a disaster. I actually went to IKEA to go buy some things to help me organize last night. That was nice. So basically, if we think about all of these full moon meanings in Libra, how is this really impacting your business? And what can you do to find balance again, right? What do you need? And what do you need, and what do you need to do for others to keep them happy, right? So again, this balancing act. So I want to talk about this a little bit deeper, because really one of the things that I've been like thinking about, what do I need to let go in my business of the expectations that I've set for everything, is I need to release my desired outcomes. I've been sharing with you a little bit of my process of how I've been promoting my program Crystallize, and how I've been like talking with so many women business owners and learning a great deal, you know, getting inspired by everybody's dreams and hopes, and learning where people are really getting stuck, like by either not creating a big enough vision. That's one place I see people getting stuck. But I also see people getting stuck with, they have a lack of faith in themselves. And how this manifests, this lack of faith, is either having all these excuses of what, you know, like why they're not running their business, why they're not prioritizing time to really like ignite their business, why they're putting off, you know, waiting until later to do their business, or, you know, they're trying to get support from their partner. Like, this is the perfect time to be talking about partners, because the Libra full moon is all about relationships and partnerships. How our partners influence the decisions that we make in our business, either positively or negatively, right? So in general, if we have partnerships, like I got married very late. And so before, when I was making all of my decisions, I actually was not taking risks because I was single and I felt really scared. And before he and I never invested in myself. I never took any risky chances. I just kind of like played really, really safe, and hence played really, really small. After I got married to my husband, making business decisions was actually a lot easier. Hi, Brooke. And I was super lucky because he was super, super supportive of me. So when I was to make a big decision, like if I was going to invest in a big program, and this is a true story, I had an opportunity to invest in a program that cost $5,000. I've never spent $5,000 on me since college, right? Since undergrad. That's crazy talk. And I asked my husband, I was like, hey, you know, I'm thinking about spending $5,000 on my business. Do you support me with this? And I didn't know what he was going to say. And he actually said, do you think this is going to be something that you really want to do? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, is it really going to help you? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, if you think it's a good fit for you, then do it. I was like, wow, that's awesome. He not only did he support me by saying yes, but he supported me by saying that in his saying yes to me is that he believed in me. He believed that I believed in myself, not only to go after it and take up this investment opportunity, but he believed that I was going to come through and like take advantage of all the things that I was going to learn and implement it. That was the best thing that I ever asked him. Now, after I took that $5,000 course, I then further invested in my business in a $2,000 a month mastermind. I didn't even bother asking him because I knew at that point I had gotten to a place in my business that I knew I could afford that. And I knew that that investment in my business was going to pay off. Yes, you heard that right. I spend $2,000 a month on a mastermind program that by far pays for itself from all of the things that I've learned. Now, if I had joined this a year ago or something like that, I don't think I would have ever taken the step because I didn't know and trust myself enough. So the reason why I'm bringing this all up is because we're looking at partnerships and we're looking at if our partners are really actually supporting us in the way that we need to be supported, or if it's their fear that is coming out, right? So I've talked to several women already who are married or have like partners who, they were super interested in my crystallized program, and ultimately they declined because their partners did not have faith in them. Now, this is so sad on a number of reasons, right? When your partner doesn't have any faith in you, like it might be disguised as like, well, I'm just protecting you, or we don't have enough money, or we don't have this, but all that the messaging that's coming through is, I don't believe that you can take this investment and turn it around and to create something even bigger than that. I don't believe that you have the willpower to then do the work to do what it takes to create the business of your dreams. So please just stay small, just stay in that job that you're making just enough money to pay the bills, just stay in the place that you are, not accomplishing your dreams. Now, it's not intentional, right? They're not being malicious by saying don't invest. But what I want you to hear and what I want you to know is that in reality, this is what it comes to. It's coming to, they don't believe in you. Now, how does that feel? That sucks, right? I know you can do it. Why can I believe in you and your closest partner can't believe in you, right? It takes a really special person to be able to believe in their partner. Like now you're not dealing with just your own fears, you're dealing with somebody else's childhood fears, their relationship to money, their own belief system. And what I'm saying is a leap of faith. The universe has your back. I believe that you can do the work and that you owe it to the world to live in your purpose and to do the work that is really satisfying to you, because only in that way are you going to really make the impact not only on yourself and your family, but on others, the people that you serve, right? So all of this crazy stuff, it's the perfect time to talk about that because it is the full moon. And it's all about relationships. So what happens? What do you do when you have a partner that is not supportive of you, right? You still need to communicate with that partner and communicate about disagreements. If you really believe that this is something that you really wanted to invest in and your partner is saying no, how do you communicate about that? How can you communicate your passion, your desire to build something bigger than you, your desire to get help, your desire, you're pleading essentially with them to say like, hey, have faith in me, have faith in the universe. How do you do that, right? How do you communicate your desires? How do you communicate that, hey, maybe it's time for me this time? I've been supporting you as you've gone on to, like, maybe you have been supporting them. I'm guessing, right? How have you been supporting them, like with their dreams? Like, did you, support them while they were going to school? Did you take on an extra job while they were doing an internship? Did you, pull in more hours of daycare so that they could work late to get a promotion or a raise? All of those things that you've supported them in doing, now you can ask can you please receive some of that back? Can you have faith in me? Can you please support me? All right. So these are all some of these questions that I would like you to ask to harness this full moon in Libra energy. I'm going to be asking myself, what do I need to release, right? There's obviously some things that are holding me back right now. I'm not going to be quitting. I'm just going to keep on refining and going forward and doing the work that needs to be done and showing up for everybody here, because this is my mission. I'm pleading with you. There has never been a time in the world where we need you more. A diverse set of leaders. I don't care what your age is. I don't care what the color of your skin is. I don't care what your sexual orientation is. If you have a passion and you are a women business owner, I want you to go out and be seen and to show everything that you have, because the world needs this now. All right. Do what you need to do. Please ask your partners. If you've heard no from your partners again, start communicating. Why are your needs not as important as theirs? All right. Where is the lack of faith? Where can you bring in more faith? All right. I'm going to get off my soapbox now. Hope to see you tomorrow at the full moon. I'm having another workshop. I would love to invite you all there. Even if you've seen it before, it's still super fun. I would love to have your happy face there. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.